It's just a little bit of everything, I would say, but probably my mindset was just to make sure you bat right till the end.
So you started your cricket in South Africa. You made the big move to the United States. What's the move been like for you, and what do you think is working so well for the associates right now? Where do you see the future for the associates?
Yeah, it's been a big journey for me, especially moving from South Africa with not a lot to the USA. But I think associate cricket is just by the looks of it, it's just getting bigger and bigger. Almost every associate country now has a T20 tournament, so it just keeps getting better, and hopefully there's more money coming in for the associate teams as well, so that they can just keep growing and growing, because you see more and more associate teams beating full member teams as well, so which is brilliant. So as long as we can keep that up and trying to keep playing full members and keep playing better cricket, so that the associate standard can also lift more, it'll just be better for cricket.
And speaking of all the franchise leagues that are now showing up in the associate world, you play a lot of franchise cricket. How do you adjust your cricket to tournament to tournament to tournament?
Yeah, this year has been quite tough. It's tough jumping from one to one, especially mentally and physically. You don't get the time for all your conditioning and all those things. So it takes a while to get used to it, but at the end of the day, you just got to do your job. That's the main thing. I just try to tell myself, you have to do a job, just do it, and then also try and take off as much time as you can when you're not playing cricket. So that's probably one of the most important things, to have fun outside of cricket, and once you step over the rope, is to be fully focused on what you need to do.
And from a coaching perspective, how does the coaching differ when you're in a franchise setup compared to a national setup?
Yeah, so much different. I think in the franchise cricket, the coach is basically just there to give you confidence. There's no things. He's never going to fix anything technically or things like that. It's very little things, where in an international setup or domestic structure, there's more things that can happen.
Sorry, got to interrupt you. We're going to go back upstairs for this wicket.
Big wicket, Michael Levitt. It's a part-time medium pace offering that he serves up, but he always bowls stump to stump. The previous delivery, he had a big appeal. We nearly had a run out at the non-striker's end. Is this good enough, close enough for you, Goffy?
It's close enough for me. There's an advantage of bowling medium pace. You can tend to be pretty accurate. Not much can go wrong. And there he is, the delight on his face. The wagging of the finger. Gomel walks off 8 from 15 balls, and it's 81 for 4.
And you can spend the time with a certain coach that you can trust to really do things, where franchise cricket is just about making sure you're in the right frame of mind.
Now you in the USA take on Nepal quite often with the Cricket World Cup League 2 matches. Are there any players locally that have really stood out for you that you think they might be fitting into that national setup and you might be facing them at the international stage?
Yeah, I think Dinesh that's opening with me has really impressed me. I know he sometimes lives in New Zealand, but he's really impressed me, the positivity that he goes out and bats with. And there's obviously a few youngsters that's done extremely well here. There's so many good spinners in this.
And then you have to hope to win the next one. Where do you stand in that? Where do you see it all playing out? And I'm sure you're going to be a bit nervous through the afternoon game.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's not much we can do. We can control what we can control today, and then whatever happens is afternoon happens. We've we've got ourselves to blame. We didn't play good cricket in some of the games, so yeah, I mean, if we go through, it would be pretty lucky for us. But I mean, you never know, bigger things have happened. So hopefully we can make it to the playoffs. But I mean, it's been an incredible journey so far. So we've had a lot of fun.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us, and best of luck.
Thanks, Tony.
And back to you guys upstairs.
Yes, Andries Gijs, what an impressive character he is. And you think about that USA run at the ICC Men's T20 World Cup earlier this year. He had a huge role to play. That win over Pakistan, the defeat in Canada, so nearly beating South Africa down in the Caribbean during the Super 8s. Bright times ahead for cricket in North America. Here was the wicket.
Here it is, wicket to wicket, medium pace, played across the line, just trying to tickle it round the corner. Delighted, there it goes, boom, you're out.
He didn't even look back at the umpire, the batter. He just knew, didn't he?
He knew he didn't cross the line. Poor shot, really, feet were nowhere, just trying to flick it round the corner for one. Wicket to wicket, medium pace, effective.
We're saying in the pre-game show, it's so important that Dilip Nath gets some runs. He's a fine player. There's not many great left-handers across the country. He's got a chance here. He's got to start. He needs to be there in the 20th, ideally alongside this man who was the hero of the era during that super over with bat and ball.
There's many West Indians who can hit a long ball as well. A big man, left-handed, who wields that bat. It looks really like a toothpick in his hand, doesn't it? And again, clever from the captain of the